Mizzy World Entertainment back to present MadMizzy Sports segment to continue my breakdown and prediction of the 2020 NFL playoffs. And this week we're gonna break down the championship round, so I gotta bring my championship level fucking analysis. You feel what I'm saying? So this weekend we got the Titans versus Chiefs for the AFC Championship game for the first game. Then for the nightcap, we got the rematch. Well, Titans at Chiefs is a rematch too, but we got the rematch of the Green Bay Packers at my San Francisco 49ers. I do believe these are the four best teams that are left in the NFL right now. I think my San Francisco 49ers, were head and shoulders the best team in the NFC this year. The only question was Jimmy G. He answered every question that was thrown at him. Even in the L's, people saying he was rattled, he was this, he was... Listen, we lost every last one of our games on the last play. Stop it. You feel what I'm saying? It wasn't like he didn't show up for any game. He showed up for every single game and did what he asked him to do. Sometimes he fell short. But we were clearly the best team in the NFC. The Packers were clearly a great team. The Chiefs were clearly the most explosive team in the AFC. They definitely weren't clearly the best team because we knew what the Ravens were. But the biggest question with the Ravens was how they would respond being down, how that offense would get gelling being down. But, yeah, best two teams. And y'all know how I feel about King Henry. You know what I mean? Best back in the game. Now let's move on to the breakdown and prediction of the games. Let's start off with the first game. That's Titans at Chiefs. Y'all already know where they rank at offensively throughout the regular season. So let's really touch on their playoff games and how they looked in their playoff games. The Titans looked utterly dominant in their playoff games. Nobody can stop King Henry right now. He's ran through Bill Belichick's defense. We know what Bill Belichick is about. He's ran through the Baltimore Ravens defense, who, not to mention, has been stellar since Marcus Peters showed up, but also the background of the Baltimore Ravens put up, I think average 180 on them two teams. So they've been utterly dominant. They've been clearly the most physical team throughout this playoffs. Only other comparison would be my Niners, but yeah, the Titans been straight up beating on folks throughout the playoffs. Then you look at the Chiefs last week, and yeah, they started off slow, but a lot of it was drops. It was rust, and that was a thing that plagued Lamar Jackson, was drops. But they're not as explosive in Baltimore as they are in Kansas City to overcome some of those things. But there was a lot of rust, but once they got rolling, we seen why they're so scary. 6 unanswered touchdowns. Come on. 24-point deficit erased in a quarter. That's scary. That's so scary because it's like even when I broke down the Titans and the Ravens game last week, it was 4 touchdowns to 4 field goals. If you think that Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid gonna come out there and score only 4 field goals, you are fooling yourself. 28 probably not enough for the Titans, in my opinion. I feel as though Ryan Tannehill's gonna have to throw for over 300 yards. Derrick Henry's gonna have to have a $120 plus. They're gonna have to be special to knock off this Chiefs team. So with that being said, I got the score being actually a blowout, man. I look at the first game that they played. That was Pat Mahomes' first game back. You had drops all over the place by Tyreek Hill. It was just a lot of sloppy play, sloppy tackling. Even though, I mean, listen, ain't nobody really tackling Derrick Henry, but I think Derrick Henry is going to have a special day for them to have a chance. And then Ryan Tannehill is still going to have to come out there and throw for more than 100 yards, more than 200 yards. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say more than 250 yards. I'm going to go with the Chiefs 38, Titans 17. Yeah, I got the Chiefs dominating. They too explosive. Now on to the last game that's going to determine who's going to punch their ticket to go to South Beach for the Super Bowl. The Green Bay Packers, my big bro, Rawls, Green Bay Packers at my San Francisco 49ers. Before I get into the breakdown and my prediction, I got to touch on this because I had a Packer fan, my co-worker that work at Showham. He gonna text me, sending me old Niners fans coming out the woodworks. My big bro Raw texted me, oh, hey, nobody was repping the Niners but you. And then I'm looking at it, so I had to look it up because I know my Niners fan got a strong fan base. We not a fair weather fucking fan base at all. Since 2013, our last Super Bowl appearance, we've been top 5 in selling out our stadiums. Top 5. Our lowest, the year we were 5th in selling out our stadium, because every other year we were 4th or higher, was 2013, the year we went to the Super Bowl. The thing is, y'all notice us more when we start winning. We ain't putting our red and gold in the closet. Y'all just notice us more now that we 13-3. When we was 3-13, y'all wasn't paying us no mind. When we was 2-14, you wasn't paying no red and gold mind. When we was 4-12 last year, y'all ain't pay us no mind. But we was still selling out stadiums. And we was still repping that Niner Nation. Don't ever get it fucked up. Now on to my breakdown and predictions. With this one, I do think that the first matchup does tell a lot about how this game is going to be played, simply because our game was so dominant. But let's look into how the two teams looked in their one playoff game so far. The Packers looked pretty good to start off against the Seahawks. I came home and coming out from half at 21-3, and then they can't stop Russell Wilson, and they scored one touchdown from half. I feel as though it was a good performance because you won. You won at Lambeau. It's good, but it didn't show what I felt as though it should have shown. The Seahawks have shown a very high vulnerability over the past few weeks, and the Packers couldn't take advantage of it. I know for a fact, as a Niners fan, I wanted the Packers way more than I wanted Nick Bosa, D Ford, and Robert Solomon to be chasing around fucking Russell Wilson to punch our tickets. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I just felt as though they left a lot on the plate in the Seattle game. Our game clearly utter dominance. People wanted to say this and that and the third about Jimmy G. If you don't have to throw the ball, why throw the ball? And this is what I don't like about the analysts and the pundits. People tend to forget that Tom Brady only threw for 144 in his first Super Bowl and got that Super Bowl MVP. Cut it out. But with that being said, I love the brand of football that my Niners are playing. It's not solely on one person, one side of the ball, one position group. No, it is the most complimentary football that is being played right now in the NFL. You stop the run game, Jimmy, start throwing it. You want to try to stop Jimmy, start running the ball. Or y'all want to throw the ball on this, Nick, and get after him. Sherm get some picks. Or you want to try to run the ball? Quan Alexander, go off. Yeah, I mean, it's hitters all over the place. This is the most well-rounded team since Pat Willis, Navarro Bowman, Cat, Frank Gore, Crabtree. Love this team. So, for the Super Bowl, let me give y'all my score. I think it's still going to be a dominant win. I don't see it as dominant as the Week 11 win of 38-7, but I do see it being dominant win. Something like last week. I'm gonna say 24-10. No, matter of fact, I'm going to say 31-13. San Francisco 49ers over the Green Bay Packers to meet the Kansas City Chiefs in Miami, South Beach, Miami, for this year's Super Bowl. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, share. Y'all know what it is. Mizzy World, MadMizzy Sports. Gang.